Hello and welcome to Primeval Part 2. We're going to show you how to keep and care for crickets, but also how to make them live longer because I know if you own a lizard, you're going to realise that crickets, they die pretty quickly and they're pretty fragile. So the first tip I have for you guys is that when getting crickets, obviously either baby ones or big ones, it doesn't really matter, but as soon as they get in there, you're going to have to give them a water source. This can be some lettuce sprayed with some water on it. Don't give them a bowl because they'll just drown, because these shelf crickets probably haven't had water for about 5 days.
Alright, so in your tank, make sure you include these egg cartons. These are really important because it gives crickets places to hide and run away. And if you don't have these, they might end up eating each other, and that's obviously not great, so make sure you have egg cartons. So for substrate here we use organic soil, and the reason we got organic soil is because it has no pesticides, so it's safe for your crickets and insects. And the second thing is that it doesn't smell as much. So if you use a substrate like beach chip, your tank will end up stinking after a while because the crickets do shit on the substrate and then it sticks on, so that's not very good.
So quick tip, always keep this in the cage because these actually are filled with small maggots which sometimes assist in feeding on dead crickets which could have died by parasites. So this is kind of an essential in your tank. We're mixing dubia, roaches and crickets because I've just done this for time and it just works. Another 2 tips I have for you is if you don't want to feed them lettuce, fish flakes are sweet because they have protein and everything, and they're nutritionally beneficial for your cricket, and they just love this shit. So I recommend a splash of fish food in there, not too much because then it will build up and smell, but just a splash. And my second tip is that if you want them to breed and have eggs, well, I know this might seem unethical, but Sprite or any sweet drink, particularly Boost, they go nuts for Boost. If you pour this on the egg carton and it soaks in, they will literally stick to it and suck out all the sugar. Too much, obviously you don't want to drown them. Yeah, nobody. Just like that, put on the soil, doesn't hurt. I know what you're thinking, I thought the same thing, but this tip is very effective. If you don't want to use Sprite, you can just use some brown bread and soak it in water because that also reduces a lot of glucose and stuff. But I found from personal experience that using Sprite and particularly Boost, the crickets are, look at it, they're already on it, they're literally already on the flakes and the Sprite combos, so that's how much they love that stuff.